Wow, that was a close one at the top there. Good race, everyone. Nice job to Joseph with 41 points, David with 19, Colby with 15. Let's keep it going. And welcome to Andrew and Uni. Good to see y'all. Thanks, Joseph. Next link is in the chat. Let's see if anyone can get a personal best tonight. Here we go. Good race, everybody. Nice job to Joseph with 48 points on the victory. Very nice. Hey there, Jeremy. Welcome. Glad to have you with us. Here comes the next puzzle racer. Here we go. Good race, everybody. Here comes the next one. Got a nice message in the chat here from Joseph asking us to take a vote who would want it so that at the end of every long and agonizing tournament that the song just before it ends is a silly song with Larry from VeggieTales. Wow, what a suggestion. Yeah, who is in favor of that? Nice. David, Jeremy, Andrew, Joseph, all on board with that. Cool. I'll have to find some good ones for us. Sometimes I do the final countdown at the end, but we can change our final countdown song. There's that link. One more time and we will get started. Good luck. Well, there's Jeremy with the victory, 49 points. Nicely done. Almost made it to 50 that time. Joseph was close behind me, just 1 point behind with 36 points. Uni makes it to 34 points. David getting up there too. Very nice. Yeah, 24 points. Well done, David. There's the next puzzle racer. Let me know if anybody gets a personal best. You'll be declared the puzzle racer champion for tonight. I think Jeremy has 1 win. Joseph has at least one. Joseph, do you happen to remember how many wins you have? I haven't been actually keeping track this time. 2 wins. Okay, cool. Yeah, I had a feeling. So you're in the lead at the moment. 2 wins. Jeremy has one. So if nobody gets the personal best, that's what we'll be keeping an eye on for who wins tonight. No problem, Ellie. Glad to have you with us. Welcome back. Here we go. Wow, how about that? Joseph takes the victory, beating Jeremy by 1 point, 60 to 59, a fantastic race. That was incredible. And in fact, I think 60, yeah, that's his personal best. So that means, I mean, Joseph would have taken a 3-1 lead with that win, but he doesn't even need the 3-1 lead because he is the champion with that personal best. Amazing job to Joseph with that. That is absolutely awesome. Colby made it to 35. That's fantastic. I wonder how close that is to a personal best. His best is 37, so he's getting close. David, I think, was close to his best. Uni made it above 30 as well. We had Andrew and Ellie both making it above 10. Fantastic race that time, everyone. Thanks, Ellie. Yeah, congratulations. So Joseph takes it home. He gets the puzzle racer point. I'll go ahead and add this point to the blue team. Add one more point for them. Volleyball camp, very nice. Hopefully that was fun. Yeah, good. The haircut's good for summer in Texas, good for summer in North Carolina too, which is not quite like summer in Texas, but still pretty hot for my liking. Definitely a summer's a good time to have a haircut. Wow. Jeremy said he was going to go for 57 and he made it to 56. So close. If anyone wasn't here last night and doesn't know why he's going for 57, I got to tell you, I got to fill you in on the crazy thing that happened. Jeremy got 57. What was it? 4 times in a row last night. It was crazy. He wasn't really like trying to do it, but he got 57, like 4 puzzle races in a row. It was absolutely crazy. Very close, almost another 57. Jeremy is going to set a record, a world record for how many 57 you can get in 1 week. Wow, 100 is sweater weather. That sounds terrible. I would not like I would not like it to be that hot. I would not like to be wearing a sweater when it's that hot. Uh, yeah, I've got the weather here so you can check it out. It's 83. Although it's almost 8 o'clock here, so y'all have it an hour earlier than I do. Let's start the race. Good race, everyone. Nice job to Jeremy on the victory, 47 points. Very good. I think we will actually, you know what? That's going to be the final race because I want to go ahead and move into announcements and then the lesson. Don't want to spend too much time here. So direct your attention to my screen here to recap in week 8. The blue team, that's last week, the blue team added 51 points during chess camp, while red team added 42 points. Outside of camp, blue team scored just over 20 points and red team scored 8.5 points. Jeremy, Ishan, and Andrew led the way for the red team last week. Congratulations to them. As for the blue team, William, Yuni, and David were their leading players last week outside of chess camp. This Tuesday, red team squeaked out a narrow win, 28-27 in that team battle. And this means the blue team is in the lead with 256.7, adding the team, the puzzle racer point from tonight that Joseph won, while red team has 214.2 points. Now, keep in mind our meetings in August, which the last camp meeting for the camp will be Thursday, August 8th. All those meetings in August are going to count for points in the month of July. And when you add in our makeup meeting next Monday, August 5th, this means we have 5 meetings still to go in July. Now, I want to announce this. I don't know how many of you have been watching the Chess Olympics. I mean, not the Chess Olympics, the real life Olympics in Paris, but we are doing our very own Chess Olympics for the last 2 weeks of the chess camp. We're going to continue with usual team battles for the Monday makeup meetings, but on Tuesdays and Thursdays, including tonight, for the next 2 weeks, we're going to play 2 variant arenas each night. Each will last approximately 35 minutes, and this means that we're going to play each of Lichess's 8 variants over our last 4 meetings on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I announced it last night, but didn't give too many details, but here we go. Here are some details about how this is going to look. For the Olympics, everyone's going to be split up into 2 sections based on the skill level. So in section A, we're going to have Ishan, Jeremy, Joseph, Mikey, William, and Yuni. And in section B, we're going to have Andrew, Colby, David, Eli, Ellie, and Josias. So everyone's going to have a great shot to win some stuff in the chess Olympics. You're going to be competing against everyone in the entire camp in one arena, but you're going to earn team battle points and medal points, which are going to be separate. I'll get to that soon, based on where you rank compared to the other players in your section. So in each section, first place earns 8 team battle points for the team. Second place earns 5 points. Third place earns 3 points. Those are the team battle points that we've been keeping track of. You know, the blue versus red team battles. It's not going to be based on how many points you actually get in the arena. It's going to be a fixed amount of points that you get for your team. So that's what that means. And now let's talk about medal points. I'll also be keeping track of how many medals each person wins. You win a medal by finishing in the top 3 among players from your section in a variant arena. So a gold medal for first place is worth 3 medal points. A silver medal for second place is worth 2 medal points, and a bronze medal for third place is worth 1 medal point. Now, the player in each section with the most medal points at the end of the Chess Olympics will win a $10 gift card. So a bonus prize for the Olympic champions. That's the one winning player in each section who gets that. Now, you may be wondering which variants we'll be playing tonight. Here is the schedule for week 1 this week. So Tuesday at approximately 7:30 p.m. Central Time, we will be playing King of the Hill, and at 8 p.m. we'll be playing Anti-Chess. And then this Thursday, we'll be playing Chess 960 and Atomic. Now, I'll put this link to the scoreboard into the Zoom chat. I've updated it to include an Olympic leaderboard. Somebody requested that last night, so there you go. You'll be able to see it. There is the link in the chat for anyone who wants to take a look at that and save it somehow so you'll have access to that. Now, if you're wondering how to play the variants King of the Hill, that's a pretty simple variant. It's a race to get your king to the middle of the chessboard. So you want to get to one of the 4 central squares. That's d4, e4, d5, or e5. And the first player to get their king there wins. That's King of the Hill. And then anti-chess is a race to get rid of all your chess pieces. And if you can capture an opponent's piece, you have to capture. So you may not be able to make a move, and you may not realize why. The reason is there's an opponent's piece somewhere that you can capture. And if you can capture something, you have to. And you're trying to get rid of all your pieces before the opponent gets rid of all theirs. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun playing the variants. And also, I want to tell you that I'm changing the prize schedule for the final 2 weeks of camp. We're going to be giving away a $10 prize on both Tuesdays and Thursdays instead of a $20 prize 1 day per week. This way, more people will have the chance to win something. And so with that being the case, tonight is prize night. The prize tonight is a choice between the chess book, How a King Plays by Oliver Boydell, and a $10 Amazon gift card. This book is enjoyable to read and has good advice, particularly for players rated below 1200. So there's my guideline about whether to choose the book or the gift card. I think it's particularly valuable for people around that rating level. And now, here's how you win tonight's prize. In tonight's anti-chess arena, which is the second arena we'll be doing tonight, the player with the quickest win, winning in the fewest moves by giving up all their pieces, wins the prize. Now, if your opponent resigns and you were close to giving up all your pieces, or if you had an unstoppable plan to give them all up, let me know, tell me in the chat, and I might count it for the prize. In the case of a tie, if two players give up all their pieces and both win in 19 moves, for example, then the player who scored more points in the arena will win the prize. So that's the tiebreaker. Finally, I want to ask everyone, has any prize winner not received their prize? Please let me know if you have won a prize and you haven't gotten it yet, so that I can make sure that I can get it sent over to you. I hope you don't all win in 19 moves. I guess I would just have to use the tiebreaker for everyone. It would just become who does the best in the arena in that case. Yeah, we'll probably all learn together how to play the variants. We have not, there's no disadvantage actually. We have not started the Olympics yet. We are just starting it today for the first time. We did not do the Olympics yesterday. Tonight's the first night of the Olympics. All right. So let's take a look at the lesson for tonight. We have one game to take a look at here. We'll do the lesson, we'll play Kahoot, and then we will get started with some Olympics. Here is a link to the study. I'll put it in the Zoom chat. And here we go. So Jay Bonin, the author of our book, he shared his approach to chess tournaments, and I think it's pretty interesting. It's a smart idea, the way he approaches his tournaments. Since he's an older player who doesn't have as much energy as younger chess players for deep opening memorization, he instead tries to steer the game to an endgame quickly because he has found that many players don't know how to handle the endgame. So he trades off the pieces and gets immediately into an endgame quickly. Instead of a wild fight in the opening that can go either way, he strategically steers the game to the place where he is more comfortable and more knowledgeable than his opponents in most cases, which is the endgame. I think there's some wisdom in this. If you can study the endgame and get extremely good at it, you'll have excellent chances, and it's a very effective strategy if you can just trade off pieces quickly and get to an equal endgame. Of course, some people don't find endgames to be much fun, so I must also advise you to remember that you play chess to have fun ultimately. If this strategy doesn't sound like fun to you, then by all means avoid it. It's important to stay motivated and to keep enjoying chess, because if you choose a style of play that's boring to you, you might lose interest in chess altogether. We wouldn't want that. So if you have more fun orchestrating attacks against the enemy king, keeping the pieces on the board, by all means go for that when the position calls for it. But just keep in mind that this is an option if you care primarily about results, about just winning as many games as possible. Just, learning the end game well and then steering the game to the end game. It's a very efficient way to study and to play chess and to get good results. If you can live with the tediousness of it, it can be very effective. So in this position, material is equal and we have opposite side pawn majorities. Bonin says if the pawn structure was symmetrical, he would offer a draw. But here he presses on because with opposite side majorities, he knows that it will come down to which pawn majority can be mobilized faster. So he starts with knight to b7 in this position. And it's not just about pushing your own majority, which white's majority is on the king side, but he's not just focused on that. It's also about freezing your opponent's majority. And with this move, Bonin points out that he's seizing the weak c5 square where he wants to put his knight, and stopping black's majority. So he puts the bishop on c5 first, and Bonin says he'd be very happy with a knight on c5. If black trades, white would smile here. So he does not trade. You don't usually want to make your opponent smile in chess. Knight to d4 happens, and notice how Bonin has activated all of his minor pieces. Using all the pieces you have is a great recipe for winning chess. Now black plays g5, and Bonin says this move stopped white from playing f4, but it weakens f5, which white's knight can immediately jump into if he wants. Another idea, though, white also wants to target black's weak c6 pawn and then press his advantage with his kingside majority. So white starts with knight to f5, bishop takes, knight takes, and now Bonin plays h4 here, and Bonin points out that this move fixes black's h5 pawn in place, and when you fix an opponent's pawn like this, you can then target it and hopefully win it without having to worry about it moving. Easier to hit a target that's not moving, so you fix the pawn, and now white prepares to activate his king, which is a crucial part of the endgame. And notice that he has stopped black from doing the same thing. Bonin points out here that his knights cover the black king's entry points. Black's king cannot reach the center. He has no way of getting through the little mini wall set up by the two white knights. So positioning your pieces to keep out the enemy king is a great strategy in the endgame. And now with b4, Bonin says this fixes the a6 pawn. He fixed yet another pawn, and black's c6 knight has to stay put and defend the pawn. Notice that white has the knight here on c5 attacking the pawn. So even if you won't win a pawn, continuing to attack it ensures that the opponent's pieces must remain passive and defensive. It's a great way to prevent your opponent from getting an active position by beating them to the punch and attacking things before they can. If you attack first, you might force them to defend. So white starts to bring the king in. Black wins a pawn, yes, but it has no real future. It's just a doubled and isolated rook pawn, not a passed pawn. So that's okay with white. White activates his king. He has a nice position. Knight to f8, not the best move by black. Bonin says that knight to e6 would have been better. This would either trade off or kick away white's excellent c5 knight. And notice that if white takes the pawn, you may be wondering he can just do that. The thing about that is if white gets the a pawn, black gets a nice grip on the king side. Stockfish says that white has pretty much lost his advantage in this position. Black has such a good position on the king side. So going after individual pawns on the flank where the opponent activates their pieces is often a bad idea. Piece activation is often more important than pawns because piece activation might get you a lot more than just pawns. So instead we saw knight f8 in the game, now knight to d4 by white, and there's no defending c6. And you see the problem with pawn weaknesses. You want your pieces to be active, and even if they're passive, you may not have enough pieces in enough places to defend all your weaknesses. Black has to defend the a6 pawn and the c6 pawn, and he cannot defend on c6. So white takes the pawn. And we see the trade material is equal, but Stockfish says that it's about +3 in white's favor in this position. Tell me in the chat who has some ideas. Why do you think Stockfish says +3? Why does white have such a big advantage here? David's got a good idea in there. Jeremy has the idea. Absolutely. Yep. Jeremy's like seeing into the future of this game. He knows the H pawn is going to fall. That's right, Andrew. Yep. Doubled rook pawn. Absolutely. Yep. The kingside pawns are going to be weak. Yep. Good job to everyone. That is correct. Notice knight f5 is coming, and it was unstoppable. And again, there's no way for black to possibly defend the h4 pawn. Even if he went, the right direction with his knight, tried to get back into the game, he still wouldn't be able to defend that pawn. So pawn weaknesses might fall, and then you're going to be a pawn down. That's the problem with having weaknesses. So pawn structure is important in the endgame. And notice going back here, notice that the black knight cannot get to an active square. The white knight is taking away its options. Could go to e6 and try to make a trade. But white would probably be happy to meet that with knight to f5. And again, just attacking the h4 pawn. So now we see black getting his knight back in the game. White takes the pawn. And now knight to f3, and Bonin says he's threatening knight to g7 check, winning the h5 pawn, so black has to defend. And notice here how needing to defend makes black even more passive. He goes back with king to f7, and now it's a really nice position for white. He gets the king activated. Notice that instead, if we saw black try to activate his king with king to e5, we can simply push him away with f4 check, and then knight g7, and we win yet another weak pawn. So when the opponent has an isolated pawn like this one, that's a sign that you can go after it. And even the f6 pawn is an isolated pawn too. So if the black king ever leaves, he might lose that pawn too. So those weak pawns are a big problem in the endgame. Knights love to just attack pawns that have no way of being defended. Now we see knight to b7, and Bonin says knight to c5 is coming, and white won the game. The knight's going to target h6 from c5, and if black trades it off, we can choose between getting a passed pawn by taking with a pawn, or even better, says the engine, is invading with our king, getting the king to c5, to b6, taking on a6, and then winning that way. So here's the plan that could have happened here. King takes, black has no stopping the king from getting to the a6 pawn, and so white's going to win here. So see the value of being the first to activate your king and of being the first to attack. You can really think of the endgame as a race. You already know that it's a race to promote a pawn. Coach Santos has said that's endgame strategy number one, but it's also simply a race to be on the attack. And if you go on the attack, the opponent's pieces will likely have to defend. And unlike in sports, the offense pretty much always beats the defense in chess endgames. All right, let's move into the Kahoot now. I'll put the link in the Zoom chat. Go ahead and get another device or another screen ready so you can select the answer choices and see the questions. And here we go. Kahoot winner earned 1 point for the team. And after this, the Chess Olympics will get underway. That's right, Joseph. Yep. All right, here we go. Link is in the chat. Thanks for the reminder, Jeremy. So I'm expecting, in that case, 8 people. I'll wait a good while so that hopefully we can get as many people as we can. And if anyone else is not doing it, just let me know so that I'll know not to wait. We have 7. It's been too long since we've had somebody try to impersonate Colby. I feel like it's not that confusing anymore. We've got one Colby who calls himself the one and only Colby here, and it's not like super difficult to know who's really Colby. I feel like in the spring we had like a lot of them. And there we go. We've got someone impersonating someone. We've got Couch Danya here. Very interesting. There's 8 people. So here we go. Good luck to everyone and have fun. Nice job to the 6 people who said true. There are winning chances if there are pawn majorities on opposite sides, because the winning idea is to push your pawn majority before the opponent does. So even if the material is equal, if you've got pawn majorities on opposite sides, there are definitely some winning chances. Uni was very fast, and she's in 4th place. Good job to the 6 people who said false. That's correct. International Master Jay Bonin's approach is definitely not to study openings really well and crush his opponents there. That takes a lot of time, a lot of memorization, which is something that in the chess landscape sometimes chess playing adults don't necessarily have if it's not their full-time job. Instead, he has studied the end game and he's become so good at it. He trades off pieces, gets to an end game, and then crushes his opponent at the place where he is the most comfortable. Good job to 7 people. That's correct. It can be an effective but tedious strategy to learn endgames really well and then steal games to a quick endgame. I think endgames can be beautiful, but they're not the most popular. I think a lot of people don't like endgames as much. Some people like them, some people don't. Good to see everyone getting it right that time. That is correct. It's true. Endgames are a race to promote a pawn, like Coach Santos tells you, and a race to go on the attack. Because when you attack, they defend. When they defend, they get passive. And when they get passive, you win. Good job to 8 people. Everybody got it. Very well done. Yes, with majorities on opposite sides, you should activate your pieces, stop their majority, and push your majority. All 3 of those things are parts of a good winning plan when you have pawn majorities on opposite sides. Uni staying in the lead, trailed very closely by Endor King 55. Great job. Once again, everybody gets it right. That is true. If you fix or freeze the opponent's pawns in place, you can then target them and attack them. Good job to the 3 people who said false. It is not inevitable that your opponent will activate their king and their pieces. One of the things that I talked about, you can actually stop them, like how White was using his knights to keep out the black king in that game. You can actually stop them from activating their king and their pieces. If you're on the attack, they're going to be defensive. They may not be able to activate their pieces. So that's the idea there. It's not inevitable that your opponent will get active. You can actually stop them. Colby takes the lead. Great job to 7 people who said true. Yep, that's right. Every pawn push makes a weakness. So when your opponent pushes, look for how to take advantage of the weakness left behind. Good job to 5 people who said false. That's correct. This one says if you won't win a pawn, there's no benefit to attacking it. That's definitely false. There is a benefit to attacking it and simply putting some pressure on the pawn because when you attack it, they have to defend it with a piece, and then they may have to just keep the piece there and stay passive, stay defensive. So there is a benefit to attacking things, even if you're not necessarily going to win it. Endor King 55 jumps into the lead. It's a close one. Great job to 6 people. If you attack before your opponent can attack, they might be forced to defend passively. That is true, and that's the idea. Here we go. Good job to 6 people. This one is true. Offense pretty much always beats defense in chess endgames. That is true. You want to be on offense. Let's see who won. It was very close at the top. Colby, I assume, takes third place. Who took second? Uni took second. And first place by only 4 points, separating first and second place. That's unbelievable. It was so close. Ender King 55, congratulations. Very well done to Andrew. Huge congratulations on the victory in Kahoot. That is awesome. So Andrew earns the point for the red team. I'll add that to the team. And now it is time to get the Chess Olympics started. So I'm going to put this tournament link in the chat. We are starting with King of the Hill. I looked for Proverbs 7:34 and I didn't find it. I think it only has, that chapter only has 27 verses. So I wasn't able to find it. Have 7 people expecting 9. Oh, okay. Okay, sure. Proverbs 6:34. Let's see. No problem. For jealousy arouses a husband's fury, and he will show no mercy when he takes revenge. Wow. All right. Thanks for the verse. Nine people in the tournament. That's everyone. We're going to go ahead and move it up, and we're going to get started right now as soon as possible so that we have a good amount of time to play these games. Again, King of the Hill, it's a race to get your king to the middle of the board. First person to do that wins. You've got to get to d4, e4, e5, or d5. Any of those squares will win. Let's see who's going to bring home the medals and the points in the first event. I might add a little bit more time to the clock. We may end up playing a little bit more than 30 minutes. Games are 3 minutes long. You don't need a ton of time for this variant. Games, I think, tend to be over pretty quickly. So only 3 minutes on the clock. Here we go. First game with the white pieces. We have Eli taking on William with the black pieces. Now, it looks like a few people did not make a move. Let's see. Okay, a few people have been able to move. Wanted to make sure we weren't having difficulties with anything. Yeah, hopefully. So we've got a few games going on. We have Uni taking on Ellie here, and one game has already finished up, and Uni has won. Nice. So I think I won't count the games where no moves were played. That's what I usually do. But the games with moves being played, those will count. All right. I will play the music. Well done to Jeremy. He's made a very nice start. He's in the lead with 12 points right now. William is in second place with 10 points. I'll remind everyone that you're primarily competing against the people in your section to earn those medals and to earn the team battle points. So that means I've got the sections up in the tournament description now, so you can take a look and be reminded of who is in your section, who you're competing against. David is in the lead for section B right now, tied with Colby, followed by Andrew, Ellie, and Eli. So lots of competition there. We have just over 20 minutes left to go. Jeremy has made a really excellent start. He now has 17 points and a 7-point lead over his next closest competitor. He is looking good for the gold medal as we are just over halfway into this first event, first of 8 variants that we'll be playing in the final few meetings of this summer's chess camp. William has just taken the lead for the silver medal. He's got 12 points, and we have a tie between Yunyi and Joseph for the bronze medal right now in Section A. As for Section B, Colby is in the lead for the gold medal in that section with 9 points, followed by Andrew and David in the silver and bronze medal spots. We have about 90 seconds left to go in the tournament. Looks like Jeremy's going to win the gold medal with 26 points. He's done a great job in this arena. William, I want to make sure everyone's aware. William had a couple of games where no moves were played. So as I said, those games are not going to count. So keep that in mind. William's score is actually 14 points. Colby has 17 points. He's doing amazingly well. It looks like he's going to win the gold medal for Section B. I mean, he's doing such a great job. He could have even gotten a medal in Section A, it looks like. So a fantastic job by Colby in this arena here. Uni looks like she's doing well to potentially take the bronze medal in section, actually no, the silver medal because of the deduction. Uni is in place to win the silver medal as things stand, but we have 45 seconds, so get those wins in the next 40 seconds. They have to count. You got to get them in before that time expires for them to count for the arena, for them to count for the Olympics. Joseph is paused at the moment with 13 points. Very nice. Ellie has 8 points. Andrew has 8 points. David has 7 points. It's very close. Looks like there's just one more game going on here between Ellie and William. 20 seconds on the clock. Jeremy has won the gold medal in Section A. No one's catching him now. William with a win. He now has 21. Excuse me. He now has 17, which gives him the silver medal. That gives Uni the bronze medal as this tournament comes to a close. Now I'm going to go ahead and waste no time putting up the next tournament. We're going to get started playing anti-chess very soon. So here is the next link. Sorry to hear about Lichess crashing. Sounds like multiple people have had that, so maybe Lichess is having some difficulties tonight. Yeah, very well done, Jacoby. I'll take a look at your games, Joseph. Thanks, Ellie. I'm going to go ahead and move up the start time so that we can get started with anti-chess. As a reminder to everyone, in this variant, you want to throw away all of your pieces as quickly as possible. If your opponent can take a piece, they have to take a piece. So if you're not able to make a move, that's probably because you can take a piece somewhere on the chessboard. You've got to kind of scan the board, look like everywhere, and then find the piece that you can take. Games are going to be a little bit longer. I've given everyone 4 minutes on their clock. So that's going to be the time control. We'll have about 40 minutes or so to play this. I'm going to make it 38 minutes so that we're finishing at the time that the camp officially ends. We've got 8 people in the tournament at the moment. Actually, you know what? I can't change it. It has to stay 40, but that's okay. And I will be getting official announcements once I've officially looked at the numbers in terms of who is actually getting the medals from that previous one. Also, the prize is up for grabs in this arena. Remember, winning in the fewest moves is what's going to get you the prize in the anti-chess arena. And then the tiebreak is how many arena points you can get. Winning in the fewest moves, not by resignation. Although if your opponent resigns when you were very close to winning, then I'll take a look. Just let me know, and I might give you credit depending on if you had a winning plan. Okay, everyone, I have announcements for who won the medals in that first arena. So listen up. Jeremy won the gold in section A, William won the silver, and Uni won the bronze. So that means Jeremy is in the lead with 3 medal points. William has 2, and Uni has 1 at the moment. As for section B, Colby took the gold in a dominating performance. David took the silver, and bronze was a tie between Andrew and Ellie. And the way I'm going to do it, if you tie for a medal, I'm not going to do a tiebreaker. You're just both going to get that medal. So both Andrew and Ellie have the bronze medal. So that gives them 1 medal point each. David has 2 medal points and Colby has 3. Meanwhile, in anti-chess, we have about 30 minutes left to play, and Jeremy is in the lead with 2 wins already. Jeremy with an excellent start. Williams so far the only one to beat him. This game is just so funny. This game can make you laugh sometimes. Y'all are finding out some funny things about anti-chess, like the fact that you can get 2 kings, or as Jeremy pointed out, you can even get 9 kings. Theoretically, I guess you could. 9 kings on the board at once. It's crazy the way you can do that. You can promote to a king, actually. And another thing that I should mention, if you get stalemated, stalemate is a win for the player who has no moves. And the other nice thing about anti-chess, if you don't usually, if you're not usually able to beat someone in regular chess, even if you lose to them in anti-chess, in a sense, you can kind of feel like you're beating them because they have like no pieces. So you can, it feels good, you know, you have all their pieces. So it's kind of, you can flip things on their head. It's a really funny variant. As I look through y'all's games, I'm just kind of laughing because the ending positions just look so crazy. I mean, Andrew ended one game with nothing but two kings. That was pretty crazy. And then some of them, it's like one one side has like 10 pieces and the other side has nothing. It just looks so different from regular chess. It's crazy. We have about 20 minutes left to go. Jeremy's still in the lead for his second gold medal of the night. He's going to be an Olympic champion, no doubt about it, when this thing's over, if he keeps this up. He's got 12 points. William is in second place with 10 points. Colby, once again, leading the way in Section B. He has 8 points. Ellie and Andrew with 4 points each, currently in the silver medal position. David not far behind with 3 points. Well, this is exciting. We've got quite a battle for the gold medal in Section A going on here. William relentlessly chasing Jeremy here. Jeremy has 18 points. William has 16 points. The two of them on a different plane from the other competitors. They're doing a fantastic job here in their battle for the gold medal. Colby once again in a good place to potentially bring home the gold medal in Section B, but he's being chased as well by Ellie with 6 points and David with 5 points, Andrew with 4 points, Eli with 2 points, Uni has 2 points. So a lot of good competition going on. We have about 13 minutes left to go. We have 5 minutes left to go in the tournament. I am going to go by the Lichess tournament clock because that's pretty close to the amount of time that we have left in the meeting. So 5 minutes to go, get those points in. Jeremy is in fourth place. He has 24 points with a 2-point deduction for that one game when no moves were played. William is only 2 points behind. He has 22 points. Meanwhile, Colby is again having a nice lead in section B here. He has 11 points. He looks likely to get the gold medal, but things could change. We do still have time for multiple games to finish up. Andrew and Ellie are currently tied for the silver medal right now in section B. David is only 1 point behind. We have 2 minutes left to play. Can Jeremy hold on to his gold medal, or is William going to make a comeback? We have some new games starting, and wow, William and Jeremy are playing each other. I'm going to watch this one.